Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast. Presented by Stephanie Williams and Greg Lewis.
All right, so today we're going to take this deep dive. You sent over some really interesting stuff about Meta and Snap.
Yeah.
And their approaches to AR glasses. And it seems like there are two totally different paths that are kind of, emerging here.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Meta's Orion smart glasses, which are still, kind of shrouded in secrecy.
Right.
And then you've got Snap's AR spectacles, which are already out there. I mean, developers are already getting to play with them.
Yeah.
So we're going to help you figure out which one kind of, clicks with you more.
It really is a fascinating clash of styles. I mean, if you think about it, Meta, they built these huge platforms, Facebook and Instagram, connecting millions of people.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see them taking this, slow and steady approach with Orion.
Yeah, it does seem like they're thinking, let's get the AR experience absolutely perfect before we unleash it on the world.
Right.
Especially since they're already, betting big on the metaverse.
Exactly. And it's like they're laying the groundwork for a future where our digital and physical lives are just kind of like seamlessly intertwined.
Yeah.
And Orion could be the key to unlocking that future. On the other hand, you've got Snap, and they are all about instant gratification and creativity.
Right.
They're saying, here are the tools. Go make something awesome with AR right now.
Yeah, and they're actually putting their AR glasses where their mouth is, so to speak. Developers already have their hands on the spectacles, and they're building all sorts of apps and experiences.
Yeah.
So while Meta is cooking something up in the labs, Snap is throwing a party, and everyone's invited.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But you can't ignore that immediate difference when you look at pictures of these two devices.
Yeah.
The Orion is sleek. It almost looks like a regular pair of glasses. The spectacles, well, they're definitely more noticeable.
Yeah, let's be honest. They look a bit like high-tech sea goggles.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of the charm,
Right.
They're not trying to blend in. They're making a statement. Hey, we're doing something new and exciting here.
Yeah.
And
maybe for developers, function trumps fashion, at least for now. They want the power and the flexibility to experiment, even if it means sacrificing a bit of style.
Right.
But those early Orion prototypes with that separate wristband and the little computer puck, it does make you wonder if Meta is aiming for something that people will actually want to wear all day, every day.
Right, because if AR is really going to become a part of our daily lives, the hardware can't feel clunky or intrusive. It has to feel natural, almost like an extension of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's a tough challenge.
So it seems like on the surface, at least, Meta is prioritizing that seamless integration with your everyday life, while Snap is focused on just getting the tech into the hands of creators as quickly as possible. But let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about what's going on under the hood of these devices.
Yeah.
What kind of technological wizardry are we talking about here?
Well, the rumors about the Orion are pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
They're supposedly packing in all the latest tech micro LED projectors, waveguides.
Hold on, waveguides.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't, electrical engineers,
Sure.
what exactly is a waveguide?
Good point. Imagine a tiny transparent pipe that can bend light.
Okay.
That's essentially what a waveguide does in AR glasses.
Okay.
It takes the light from the projector and directs it toward your eye, creating the illusion that those digital images are floating in front of you.
So like a mini light show happening right inside the lens of the glasses.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is. And Meta's going all out with Orion eye tracking. The glasses know where you're looking. Gesture recognition so you can control things with hand movements. They're even working on a special wristband that uses electromyography.
Wait, electromyography, that sounds seriously futuristic.
It is.
Like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
What does it actually do?
Yeah. It basically reads the electrical signals from your brain to your muscles.
Okay.
Allowing you to control the AR interface with tiny, almost imperceptible hand movements.
Yeah.
Imagine just thinking about typing and the words appear in your field of vision.
Okay.
No keyboard, no voice commands, just pure thought.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And a little bit creepy, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I guess that's the future we're heading toward.
Yeah.
What about Snap's spectacles? Are they packing the same level of tech?
They're going for a different kind of wow factor. Think less mind control, more crystal clear visuals.
Okay.
They've actually achieved a menu resolution that rivals the Apple Vision Pro, which is quite a feat.
Wow.
And their lenses have this cool electrochromic tinting feature.
Electrochromic tint. What does that even mean?
It's like having those fancy car sunroofs that can go from clear to tinted at the touch of a button.
Okay.
In the spectacles, it helps to boost contrast and create a more immersive feel, especially in bright environments. It's like shutting out the real world to focus on the AR experience. But there is a trade-off, as you might expect.
Okay.
While Meta is pushing the boundaries with this cutting-edge tech,
Right.
Snap's spectacles are somewhat limited in their field of view.
So instead of seeing augmented reality all around you, it's more like looking through a smaller window.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that can be a bit jarring, especially if you're trying to interact with virtual objects that extend beyond that limited field of view.
Yeah, I could see how that would be an issue.
It's like trying to watch a panoramic movie on a tiny screen.
So both companies are tackling some pretty hefty technical challenges,
Yeah.
but even with all of this amazing technology, the big question is, what can you actually do with these glasses?
That is a great question to ponder.
Right.
What would you want to experience in augmented reality?
We've talked about the technology behind these AR glasses, but what about the actual experiences? Is it all just about cool visuals, or can this technology actually change how we live and work and play?
That's the exciting part. Both Meta and Snap have some pretty intriguing ideas about what the future of AR looks like.
Okay, so let's start with Meta. Their vision seems to be all about creating this seamless blend between the digital and physical world.
Right. They want to create a world where information and communication and entertainment are layered over our reality. So think about walking down the street and seeing reviews of restaurants pop up as you pass by, or getting directions projected right onto the sidewalk.
So it's like having a personalized heads-up display for life.
Exactly. And with the Orion's advanced eye tracking and gesture recognition, interacting with this augmented world could become as natural as using our smartphones today.
Yeah, I can see the appeal of that. But what about the social aspect? Are we all just going to be walking around staring at our own little AR bubbles, completely oblivious to the real world?
That's a good question, actually. Meta is thinking a lot about how to make AR a shared experience. You know, they've shown off demos of what they call interactive shared spaces, where multiple people wearing Orion glasses can interact with virtual objects and environments together.
So you could be sitting in your living room, but through your AR glasses, you and your friends could be like battling dragons in a medieval castle.
Exactly. Or collaborating on a 3D design project.
Right.
Or even just hanging out in a virtual park. The possibilities are pretty mind-boggling.
It does sound like Meta is aiming for a pretty radical transformation of how we interact with the world. What about Snap? Are they taking a similar approach?
Snap is taking a more playful and immediate approach. I'd say their focus is on creating fun, engaging, and shareable AR experiences that people can enjoy right now.
So while Meta is building the metaverse, Snap is saying, hey, let's have some fun with AR in the meantime.
Exactly. They've got a bunch of built-in games and interactive experiences designed for the spectacles. You can play AR games with friends, create musical landscapes that react to your movements, or even transform your surroundings into a fantastical art project.
It sounds like Snap is trying to create a vibrant AR ecosystem powered by the creativity of its developer community.
Precisely. They're providing the tools and the platform and then letting developers and users just run wild with their imaginations.
Yeah, that's a smart strategy.
Yeah.
It allows them to tap into a vast pool of creativity and quickly iterate on new ideas. But let's be honest, both Meta and Snap are facing some pretty big challenges in bringing AR glasses to the mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
We touched on battery life earlier, but what are some of the other hurdles they need to overcome?
Well, for one, there's the issue of comfort. You know, people aren't going to want to wear AR glasses for extended periods if they're heavy or bulky or uncomfortable.
Right, especially if you're talking about wearing them all day, every day, like Meta seems to envision.
Exactly, and even if they can get the design right, there's the social acceptance factor.
Oh, yeah.
Will people feel comfortable wearing these devices in public?
Yeah.
Will they be seen as cool or creepy?
There's definitely a stigma attached to wearing tech on your face. We've seen that with Google Glass and other early attempts at smart glasses.
Yeah, and then there's the cost.
Right.
Right now, both the Orion and the spectacles are pretty expensive. If they're going to reach a mass audience, that price needs to come down significantly.
So we've got battery life, comfort, social acceptance, and cost. Those are some pretty big obstacles. It makes you wonder if we're really on the cusp of an AR revolution or if it's still a few years away.
That's the big question, isn't it? Are we ready for a world where augmented reality is as ubiquitous as smartphones?
And if so, which vision of the future will prevail? Meta's seamlessly integrated AR world, or Snap's playful and community-driven AR ecosystem?
Those are exactly the kind of questions we need to be asking ourselves as we watch this technology evolve.
Well, this has certainly given me a lot to think about. I'm starting to see just how much potential this technology has to change our world.
Yeah, and we haven't even scratched the surface of the ethical and societal implications. There's a whole other layer of complexity we could dive into.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored those different approaches that Meta and Snap are taking with their AR glasses. Talked about the tech, the experiences, the challenges, but what does all of this mean, for the average person?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? We're standing at the edge of this new frontier.
Right.
And the choices that we're making right now, they're going to shape the future of this whole augmented reality thing.
It really does feel like we're at a crossroads here.
I agree.
Do we embrace Meta's vision of this seamlessly integrated AR world where, digital information is just woven into like the fabric of our everyday lives?
Yeah.
Or do we go more towards, Snap's approach, which is playful and community driven?
Right.
Where AR is more about, creativity and expression and those shared experiences.
And it's not just about, which company's glasses you like better.
Right.
It's about thinking about the kind of future that you want to live in.
Yeah.
Do you want a world where technology just fades into the background and augments our reality without totally taking over?
Right.
Or do you want a future where it's more in your face?
Yeah.
AR is this vibrant layer of digital expression that just adds a whole other dimension to our interactions.
It's almost a philosophical question. What role do we want technology to play in our lives? Do we want it to just kind of enhance our existing reality or create, completely new ones?
Exactly. And there's no easy answer.
Right.
Eighth, Meta, and Snap are presenting, these really compelling visions.
Yeah.
But they also come with their own trade-offs. Right.
I mean, Meta's approach could lead to a more seamless and integrated AR experience, but it also brings up those concerns about data privacy and control, the potential for technology to just become too pervasive in our lives.
Yeah. And while, Snap's focus on community and creativity is appealing,
right,
their current hardware limitations, I think, might make it hard to develop really immersive and transformative AR experiences.
Yeah, that's true. And this is where you come in.
Okay.
As a user, an informed and engaged user, you have the power to shape the future of all of this.
Okay.
By supporting the companies and technologies that align with your values, demanding ethical considerations.
Yeah.
And by actively participating in the conversation about this whole thing, you can help steer this technology in a good direction.
Yeah.
A positive and empowering direction.
So it's not just about passively consuming these experiences.
Right.
It's about shaping the AR landscape.
Exactly. The future of all this isn't set in stone.
Yeah. It's a blank canvas, and we get to fill it with our creativity and our values and our vision for a better world.
That is a very exciting thought.
I think so.
This deep dive has really, made me think differently about AR. But it's also made me realize that, we all have this responsibility to think carefully about its development.
Couldn't agree more. I think that's a great place to wrap up.
I do too. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into the world of augmented reality. It's a rapidly evolving landscape, and we've only just begun to explore its potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be fascinating to see where it all goes from here. Make sure to check back for more deep dives on this and other cutting-edge topics.
Sounds good.
Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast.